Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review.
Clink.
Clink. What's up? What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome. It is another fabulous Wednesday with the Wandering Ways crew. I am yours truly, the Reverend Mark, and with me, per usual, the guy, the myth, the legend. He reigns from, I don't know, somewhere. He's Ranger Zach. Ranger
Yeah,
Zach, how we doing?
I'm great. I'm looking for my red pen because we're taking notes today, Cowboy. I don't know if you read the title, but I guess we'll go with the blue pen.
And
Um,
everyone knows when you're taking notes and it's important, it has to be read.
well, the red is so if you didn't read the title, we're talking about our Iceland trip today. We just spent an hour before this episode really diving in deep to figure out kind of what the plan is. And then we're going to kind of share that plan with you because I would say about a month from now, when this episode comes out, we should be in Iceland, living it up, trying something new. That's 2 months from this record day, we'll be getting back from Iceland, which is wild to think about.
Oh, shoot, that is true. I didn't even put that together. That, like,
I
as of recording this, we're 2 months away from being back.
yeah, no,
That's,
look down at the calendar and been like, holy shit, we're halfway through April.
I know it's been a time and a half the last like month. But no, I am very, very excited for this trip. I'm putting all my marbles into it, you know. I have devoted a lot of my time. I'm actually even I was looking at my work calendar. The week we're in Iceland, I actually should still be at work. Technically, I'm supposed to be, but because I control a lot of things,
Not
so
happening. I like it. No, and
yeah.
I'm looking at it too, like, holy crap, I gotta budget some stuff because there's a lot that we want to do. There's a lot that is going to happen. And it's going to be exciting. I was kind of fun talking about it before the episode and really getting into it and figuring this out. I'm ready. Like, I have my list here of things to do, right? Of things that I want to see, things I want to check out. I wrote down my notes. Then you and I wrote down some more notes of kind of day by day what we're going to do. So I'm going to see what we can work in, what we can't work in later on. And I kind of want to get down to that, get down to the brass tacks of things, as they say. But other than that, man, how have you been? I know you were out in Montana, Montucky, the good old 406.
Yeah, I was out in good old Helena. First
Yeah.
time I ever really hung out in Helena. And I didn't really even hang out in Helena. Although I know some people that work at Carroll College, so I was able to meet up with them one night. But um have you ever been to the airport in Helena?
Not the Helena Airport. That one, the Butte one, the Great Falls one are all ones in Kalispell that I haven't been to.
I mean, it's tiny. It's like a little small two-story building.
But so is
The TSA
Missoula.
people were definitely like they were feeling overwhelmed that a softball team was coming through because we got done with our games and we went straight to the airport and like it's so small of an airport, like the front desk people haven't even like started their shift, so like
Yep.
you can't go through security or get your tickets because they haven't. And you could see them all coming over. They're like, oh, you guys are you're a team, huh? Well, how many of you are there? And it would be like, oh, there's like 25 of us. And they go, oh. And then TSA opened up first and they came, they're like, you guys can go through security. And we're like, well, we don't have our tickets yet. And they're like, oh. And then we go and get our tickets. And I swear there's like five people that run the whole damn airport because
Oh
the
yeah.
same people that gave us our ticket at the front desk are the same people that checked us in at the terminal to get on the plane. And I'm pretty sure the guy that gave me my ticket was unloading bags onto the plane outside.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. No, that's welcome to Montana. We need to class up your experience and take you on the good old Cape Air or Cape Scare, as I call it, up to Wolf Point and show you that airport.
Oh, I mean, I've been in some like smallish airports. The one up in King Salmon. That one, like planes that fly into that airport are bigger than the airport itself.
Oh, that's
It's like one person that will check you in to get you to go through security, does the whole security thing, and you're starting to load, you're doing your security check, loading the plane, and like getting your boarding pass, like all within a 45-minute time span before your flight.
right. No, this is Wolf, but yeah, Wolf Point's that same way. But this, like, you get on these planes, if they're 10-seater planes, Thea sometimes, because they sit you by weight, sometimes sits up in the co-pilot spot
Yeah.
because like there's no co-pilot, so it balances out. They put your bags in the wings, like even your purse, like no carry-ons, just your phone, like your purses and shit go in the wings. The bags go in like the other wings and noses and shit. The same lady, you're right, checks you in. It's 2 rooms. You walk in like a sitting room, there's just like those school chairs, those like blue ones with the 4 legs,
Mm-hmm.
like those all in this one room. And then she's like, okay, everybody's here. All 6 of you are here. Let's walk over to the other room, opens up like a closet door on the side of the wall. There's security, just a TSA thing you walk through.
Yeah.
And of course they have to pat down somebody because it's that like 10% thing. So it's like one of the 6 people's getting patted down always. It's fucking great, man. It's one of those experiences you're like, how is this like a thing?
Yeah, but I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. I
But
don't know,
that's not the only thing in Wolf Point.
I'm sure
That's
it's
that
one
one.
of like three things there.
We have a golf course. We'll take you out on the links out there.
See, that's the
It's
second
right.
of three things.
It's called the airport or aviation golf course because it's right next to the airport.
Yeah, they always are.
Right.
They always you know what I am excited when it comes to planes. I'm excited that we have just a direct flight from Portland to Iceland.
Right. And it's only 7 hours. It's not bad because you just kind of go over Canada, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just kind of, right up top over. And what I like about it is it's direct from Portland. It's on Icelandic Air. I think they partner with Alaska or whatever. So your Alaska miles like add up on this one, which is kind of
Oh,
neat.
they do.
And you checked.
Oh, I did.
And I'm about it. Like, no, I totally am. I think it's a cool flight. It's cool to know about, cool to do. Because everyone I ask is like, it's direct. What? When,
Yeah.
when will you be back? Like, it's like, oh, it's like you're just going to like somewhere else for like the weekend. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're shocked, like, oh, it's not like a ordeal.
Yeah, for real. And I've heard Icelandic Air is pretty good. So it should be the flight should be pretty sweet. I mean, we'll still have to go through customs and all that, which is always a fun time, regardless of
Never done it.
where you are.
Never done it in an airport before, so I don't know. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
yeah, I don't not really did it in Mexico one time in Juarez, and it was just coming back into the US.
No, it's always harder coming back into the US. It's
Right.
it's always harder. I've never had issues leaving the US to other countries. Anytime I have issues with customs and stuff, it's coming back. Whether I'm driving from Canada back in the US or like flying from Europe to the US, like it's always coming back.
That'll be interesting to see how they play it out. I mean, I don't got a DUI or anything crazy like that I think other countries really flag, like really, I think it is DUIs they flag the highest.
Yeah, they probably, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been questioned too much. They really just ask you, well, why are you here? How long you staying? Type deal. And you're like, oh, I'm coming for, I'm coming. You can be really European about it. It's like, I'm going to be here for holiday. No, I'm just here for a week. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop over to Ireland for a week on holiday.
Yeah, I don't do that because they're gonna think this fucking American.
Oh, 100%.
Don't do
I
the
I
math.
do have I have tried to make jokes at a border and it doesn't go well. I don't do jokes at the border anymore.
And it's stupid. Like it really is. The world is stupid in how they act in that sense. Like, oh, it's so crazy. It's like the others, it's happening behind your backs, whether you like it or not. Like you just want to like straddle the common guy because you can.
Yeah, that also, to come to the credit of the people that do that job, I bet they deal with a lot of idiots.
A lot of bullshit too. I mean, I was looking
Yeah,
at
so they're probably like just pissed off because they've dealt with like 15 jack wagons before you get there, and you're like they're like, do you have any firearms, sir? And you're like, no, just these guns, and they're like, yeah, I don't have time for this bullshit.
they probably get that a lot too, though.
So probably.
If you really think about the stuff they get.
Oh,
But
I
no,
pulled that joke at the border. That's why I made that comment. The guy was like, no, not today, sir.
yeah, no, they were. I guess we took a bus back from Canada into Canada, back from Canada one time in high school. But I mean, you're a kid with like, I don't know, you make it in, you make it out. We'll see. We'll see how we do in Iceland. That'll be the first hurdle of the day. But
Oh
we
yeah, it'll
land
be.
bright and early in Reykjavik, the capital, the main town, the big town. Iceland only has 300,000 people, so it'll be quite interesting, I think, the whole experience.
Yeah, it will. I'm kind of excited to meet people of Iceland, because I can't think of anyone. I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of them, but I've never met anyone that's like Icelandic, so it'd be kind of cool to like meet one, chat them up type deal, which is always fun when you travel to meet locals and, talk to them and, you hear about their daily lives because it's oftentimes you're like, oh shit, you have the same issues I do.
Right, exactly, exactly. And that's the other thing too, I find interesting with traveling and going to different places and whatnot, is people have those same issues and like they don't want to be talked to, especially foreigners. You get like an Italian guy or a Chinese guy, and you bring them to America, and you get those people who are like, I want to play the Olive Garden song for you, or I want to do this for you.
Oh,
And it's like, bro, like just because he's Italian, like, but like that's so stereotypical. It's like ask him about his wife, ask him about his kids, ask him about his goals, ask him about what he fucked around in high school and college and did with, because those are going to be the moments, those are going to be the people that you're like, damn, that was such a fun time because they actually gave a shit about me, not just
100%.
picking fun at me because I'm the Italian guy or I'm the Chinese guy.
Yeah. No, you're 100% there. You just gotta treat them, don't be stupid with them. But no, we'll get in and we'll get the van first thing off the get go. We'll get our little under the reservation. It's called Happy Auto One. So
Happy auto. I mean,
Happy
we'll
Auto
figure it out.
One is what we're getting. It's not a 4x4, which is a bummer, but to be honest, we only got a week here in Iceland. We're fitting a lot in. Um, it's going to be a
Yeah,
lot.
it really is when you look at what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. Because that day one, like you said, we get the Jeep, or I'm going to just call it a Jeep because I'm so used to just calling a Jeep because I got a Jeep. But you get the car, you get the rig, and we're going to supply up. We're going to find a grocery store, going to find something, going to get what we want because we're going to probably do a lot of cooking and taking care of ourselves and getting the supplies that you need just while you're there. While you're there, stock up on that. Um, and really, I mean, and see part of Reykjavik as well. I mean, I'm sure you'll stumble across some sites and some sounds that you want to check out and take pictures of and reminisce on and see. So kind of do that, I think, really just dive into it.
Yeah, we'll for sure check out the town. I mean, I'm almost positive that I will seek out a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Um,
and looking at the food, so I'm excited because I do love breakfast food. I don't eat enough breakfast food because I don't eat breakfast typically, but I'll cook myself breakfast food for dinner sometimes because I love it that much. Um, but like I saw waffles and pancakes and like crepes and like that's the food that is bountiful and what they are known for. So I'm super excited to check it out. And I'm sure coffee goes hand in hand with that. So I was like,
oh,
fuck, Mark, you're gonna be living the way you want to be living.
I know I'm gonna really want the coffee. I know for sure is I'm excited for I'm actually really excited to have the Icelandic coffee. I think I'm more excited than I think I should be for the coffee.
Oh, it was something you really wanted to seek out when we were in Hawaii was the Kona coffee. We went to Kona Joe's. I do think going to Hawaii, you would want to probably do a different coffee tour because I thought we would have got more out of it, like more walking the
Yeah.
fields and kind of stuff. So I don't think we'll do any coffee tours of Iceland, but I'm sure they got some good
No.
stuff. Because you got to think, man, these guys they live their winters. It's like 23 hours of darkness, right? So they got to have good coffee for that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure coffee, and then I'm sure there's actually pretty good tea as well. So
And I have heard the tap water is drinkable.
oh nice. We love that. We love to see that. Yeah, no, so that will be, that first day we'll do that. And then we're gonna hang I'm sorry,
I want
go.
I want to possibly hit a thrift store.
Yeah, because we're looking for sweaters, right?
The classic Icelandic wool sweater, that's a thing. So I do want that. There's some other cool things that they have. They're like the churches. I do want to like I was telling you that I do want to take pictures of the churches. There's some really cool churches there that I mean, I don't know about it.
Yeah. I
All
for
throughout
me,
the
when it comes to like the cities, I obviously the big city of Reykjavik, but I'm actually really excited to see the smaller cities because I think was it in our map out we have like day 4 Husavik. The campground that I spotted there is kind of like near a city or a town there, which apparently is supposed to be really cool. So.
right. And I'm super stoked just because it really is. I mean, it's an island. It's a um like harbor kind of community or that I when I think of like Iceland and like a lot of these towns I'm thinking a lot of like boats and ships and I'm thinking Norway, I'm thinking Maine, I'm thinking the PNW, just kind of those vibe feels and I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, it's an island up in the North Atlantic, so um, I when I saw a lot of the pictures of these towns, I picture those kind of like harbor towns, um, which I'm gonna feel like right at home because I mean I grew up next to a beach town and then a harbor town, so it'll
Right.
be I'll be like easy clicking.
But then you see some of these like grasslands and it's almost like Scottish Highlands and you're like, fuck man, it's gonna be cool as shit.
Like what's the um up near like the West Fords, I think is going to be more of like the Scottish Highlands kind of feel.
Right. And there's a church, I think, up there. And that's why I say I really want to take pictures of church. It's like made out of the grass. Like look at I sent you a link in the Icelandic one and it of the churches. And it's one of the churches. And it's just like just the structures, and when you do look at like I know like religious or not, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore, but I'm more, Native American church, if anything, nowadays, but I don't practice. So it to me, I get it, but I also get that the historical aspect of religion and the historical aspect of these churches and these places, like there's a lot of money that goes behind to those things. So when it's built in 1500, that's built with like what they can at that time and that way and the way it was preserved and taken care of over the years. Like it's just it's nice to see that. And it's nice to see cultures in their various ways, and religion in that sense is a culture in how they do that. And I'm excited to see that, especially in like I consider Iceland essentially European. To see that in a European country will be really cool.
I think it is technically European.
I think they use the euro, so yeah.
Well, I think they have their own, but I think euros work there. But moving back, so after we check out the main town of Reykjavik there, we're moving over to Thingvellir. I'm gonna butcher every name possible. So I butcher easy names, so I'm gonna struggle today. But Thingvellir National Park. It's real close to Reykjavik. Our plan is to head over there for the evening, find a campsite,
And
do our
find
thing in the park there.
Yeah, and find things to do in the park both that night and that next morning. And knowing that, I mean, these parks are going to have trails, they're going to have different things. It's a national park for a reason. So finding that stuff to do there, definitely now that we've kind of decided the route we're taking, places we're lodging up at, right? So we're going to find things. So definitely give us a shout out of these places if you know anything, because this episode will come out before we're there. So if you know anything cool or any hidden hacks, send them to wanderingwayspodcast@gmail.com. WANDERINGWAYSPODCAST@gmail.com. And let us know, because I think this park will be kind of cool. I'm excited to check it out. And knowing we're basically going to be in 23 hours of daylight. So
I know, definitely like, I think if I'm being kind of honest, I think how we do it is we split up the drive times and we let the passenger person sleep. So that way we can maximize energy for when we're not in the car. Sleep's going to be important because it's always important. If you
You're
don't
not
snooze, you lose everybody. But because I think at these campsites, we're not going to be spending more than like 6 to 7 hours at these campsites.
right. And then yeah, that's fair. And then napping along the journeys, and then
Yeah.
rotating the driving for sure. No, that is
Yeah, and rotating it. And I mean, it could be, if it's a 4 hour drive, which I don't think any of them are 4 hours. There might be one of them, but like if it's a 4 hour drive, like one person does, you know, an hour or 2 hours of it, the other person hour, 2 hours of it.
Hey, you drove us basically through a goddamn tornado in Wyoming and on ball tires, to say the least. I trust you with driving.
I
So
mean, and you did the one in the snowstorm where we were driving with the e-brake on, so it's not like I don't trust you either.
like we're good. We're good. We'll figure
Yeah.
this shit out. We haven't hit
This
wreck
vehicle
yet.
is probably going to be the best running vehicle we've ever had on a trip.
Right, exactly. No, I'm excited. I really am, because we wake up and like you said, it's the kind of like the Scottish Highlands. I think you're going to get kind of like you said that North Atlantic feel, because you get that fjords kind of feel and look up in this area just based on the terrain. And we're going to head to that go to that Snagenfels Jacob Park on day 2 from that Tingenveer Park. And I think that drive is going to be really cool. And both parks, again, they're both national parks. You're hitting 2 national parks in one day. Like,
I'm actually really excited for that national park, specifically. There's supposed to be puffins, which will be dope as shit to see. Uh,
That's where
there,
I've seen the puffins. Most of the puffins are. It sounds like they nest up there on that north side, and June is a good time to see them. So good thing we're going during good time. That's why I really wanted to go up to the Hornstetter Nature Reserve up in that area because it's a big nature reserve in a really remote spot of the country. But it makes sense. We don't have a 4x4 vehicle, so we won't be able to get up there, which is totally fine. Because like you said, we'll be able to see puffins at this park. And puffin that like I did a whole like what animals are on this island that I want to see. They have the Arctic foxes, which I think are invasive, actually. They are introduced there. They have the puffins, which are really cool. And then there's even a town with reindeer. So
if I had to pick, I mean, yeah, I would. I really want to see a puffin. If we could see a puffin, that would be like legit, legit. An Arctic fox would be pretty fucking cool as well. Um, I would be excited to see one. I don't think I'm going to be super too bummed if I don't see an Arctic fox. And I think same for the reindeer.
In need of LED lights for your vehicle? Look no further than our friends at Oxteo, keeping our vehicles well lit while on the road while looking for Bigfoot. Make sure to use code RUGARU, RUGARU, on your next set of LED lights.
Hey there, Reverend. I heard that you might be running dry on your sticker supplier.
Yeah, I've been looking around and I've kind of like run out of cool stickers to buy and put on water bottles and stuff.
Well, I mean, have you seen the stuff Josh has been coming out with lately?
No, I have not.
Well, he is doing some really cool stuff with the Shop LS 574. Yes, they're working with indigenous communities and making some really cool stickers. He has a really cool Buffalo Mountain sticker. There's even water bottles, hats, sweatshirts, the whole swag. And we even got a discount code for you guys. Yes, if you use Wandering Ways at Shop LS 574, you're going to be getting a discount on your next purchase. But not only that, you're going to be giving a percentage of that sale to the Little Shell Tribe, as well as they donate $1 of every sale to murdered and missing Indigenous women. So just such a cool thing going on there. You know, you use the code Wandering Ways, WANDERING and you put that in there, boom, you're getting a discount.
The Wild West is full of dangers, from snakes to bears. The outdoorsman must be prepared. That is why when you experience rivers like the San Juan or the Yellowstone, you must bring a blue ribbon net. Handcrafted and biodegradable, these classic wooden fishing nets are all you need while on the river. Make sure to use code RUGARU10 when checking out at Blue Ribbon Nets. Again, the code is RUGARU10. RUGARU10.
I mean, seeing the reindeer would be cool. The more that I've sat here and we've laid it out, for the people that are listening, they don't understand the quite tough decision that we had of if we do head north or if we head like southeast to start. And I gotta say, I think I like our start the way we're doing it because this is when we're gonna have the most energy and get into the parks. I think this is when we can like really get in to them. Like this is probably where we'll do most of the hikes if we do for like our longer walks. So doing it early, I think was smart on our part to do the Thingvellir and then the what is it? The Snøfell National Park. Definitely do not quote me.
Well, and that's right there. Right? That's day 2. And that's what I mean. That Tingingver Park, since we're doing stuff day 1 there, day 2 we'll say, let's do this, let's make our way over here. Definitely at that Snøfell Park, we'll be able to go see the puffins, do a longer hike, like you're saying, which will hopefully get us out to see some cool shit out that way. And knowing that we're kind of on a timeline basically from when we get up in that area till 10 a.m. the next day on day 3, because we want to take that ferry to get up across even more so to the northwest and out to the fjords up there, and which is close to the Hornstetter Nature Reserve if you keep going further north. But
Did I
there's
tell you the other cool thing about that ferry?
no.
Um, the path that you go on that the ferry takes,
Yeah.
it is the same location of the boat scene from Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I think you did tell me that now thinking about it. You said maybe you weren't 100% sure last time you told me. So I
Yeah,
think
I looked it up, and it is. So that'll be, I mean, it will be just a small portion, but it'll be a cool little trinket.
that's good. And yeah, it really will be. I think that'll be that.
And
I'm
then yeah,
excited.
getting up to the West Fords though, I bet we see puffins there too.
Oh, it sounds like they're all over, which to me, that's I mean, low key, I bought my long lens just because I knew we were going to see puffins this year.
I know. I was strongly considering a new camera.
Well, I think I may have Thea convinced on getting me a drone for our anniversary. So,
Oh, damn, look at you.
yeah. So,
This guy over here rolling big.
she's my sugar mama. Get me a drone. I'm not rolling big.
Um, but yeah,
Um,
heading the West Fords, there's those cliffs kind of over there.
Yeah, I have up that way. There's the Latrabarg Wilderness Area, which I don't know if we'll be able to get there. There's also that Arctic Fox Center and Orcron, which
Yeah,
kind of
but
looks
that's more inland from the West Fords where that ferry's going to be spitting us out.
right. That's later. I guess that's later that night
Yeah.
or next morning. Right here, I have Langjacol. I don't know what that is. I wrote it down. Probably something cool.
Electrical. Well, there's the what it there the I'm sorry, the Latrabarg cliffs are right there.
Okay, yeah.
Which we could totally do. Um I mean, I'm sure we'll find something else in that way. I mean, maybe we even start heading more inland from there, like head out to the cliffs, check out the cliffs if we can. Maybe not spend a whole lot of time there to just kind of slowly work our way and check out so that way you can see more of those West Fords without really getting into the West Fords.
Yeah, no, I'm totally on board for something like that because we'll have the time on that on because really all like that ferry, like you said, it's a 3-hour ferry ride.
Yeah, it's roughly 3.
So you're there, you have the whole afternoon to hang out over there and get to a campsite in that northwest area. So really it's just hanging out in that area day 3, waking up day 4, and rolling out of the West Fjords, is out of that arm. I'm calling it an arm. It's that the kind of arm that comes off the
It
top
is
of
kind of an arm in the way it looks.
Well, especially it
And
looks like you have 2 main roads. 2.
yeah, in that area.
Which low key, it might be worth it to camp. You see the town Regaholar?
Regaholar.
Yeah.
Regaholar.
Reykaholar.
I know, one second. I'm gonna get it up for the people that are just watching on YouTube.
Yeah, that is perfect.
So we'll be popping out over here. The Reika, sorry, are you talking about this
No, go
right
to the
here?
right. Yours has Harper. You have 2 P's on your map. Mine doesn't have that. Down south.
Right there?
Yeah, so if we camp somewhere in that area, that general area, if you did a circle with your mouse there, and
Yeah.
right there in Quartz Harness, you can work your way over to that Husavik and that road as well can work your way down into that north side. So that way we don't have to drop down
I think that's actually probably the smarter move.
So we camp somewhere right there to get
Yeah.
our early morning start. We talked about possibly in that Auric hitting that uh uh Arctic
The
Fox Center,
Arctic fox.
and then really working our way somewhere up north where we said that Husavik town. So if that's our morning, is just driving that morning to get somewhere over there, hitting all the cool stops along the way, because it looks like there'll be some cool stuff. And working our way up to that Husavik where that lighthouse is and camping up there and just make that our day 4, our you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's like the longest drive that we have that day. And
Because
I'm
it's a
gonna
lot
try
of
and
this. It's a lot of this where the other roads are, I think, more straight in places.
yeah. Yeah, I think so too. So uh I'm gonna
Could-
see just how long it is of a drive, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it from the Krokvarul, whatever it is. 5 hours.
That really isn't that bad. If you spread that out over a day with like little, 1 hour stops here and there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
here to
I mean, it
Missoula.
turns. Yeah, and that's actually going taking us down.
Yeah, and if we don't go down, we go across right there.
Oh, it actually has it being longer if you do that.
Oh, well, maybe it's more, but I bet you that to me, I think would be better.
Probably slower speeds.
Slower speeds and probably smaller roads, which mean less travel roads.
Yeah. It has it, but it had it like almost 40 minutes longer.
That's not bad
No, it's not horrible.
because
But
I'm sure it'll add more stops, more cool stops to get over there, see what we need to do, check out the geothermal sea bass, that lighthouse. I'm going to blow the fuck up on it on Instagram with that. So be ready, guys. That I want to see it. I saw the one picture of it. I'm not going to surprise it for anybody. There's a
it's
lighthouse.
not even to be fair for everyone listening and watching. The picture he saw. It's not a great picture of the lighthouse. It's like what you get when you do like a Google Maps search, and it's like the little template up top. So it's like
But
never like the best of best pictures.
that's all I need, though, Mark. That's all I need.
Fair, 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 fair. Um, oh yeah, because isn't that sea bass geothermal over in that where that's close to Husavik?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
supposedly another like hot springs up there that's like it's supposed to be the Blue Lagoon of the North.
Well, that was that one you were talking about, right? The other one I had, the Maivaton nature baths. Is that what you're talking about? 'Cause
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the one
it looks
I
like
think
them.
that's what it is.
Which is the one, it's right on that road going up to Husavik.
Oh,
So
is it? I thought it was a little bit more west.
I think look at the map.
Yeah,
You can just leave it
I
on.
got well, I gotta figure out what's the name of that. The name of that hot springs.
The Maivaton, Myvatn nature baths.
Can you spell it again one more time?
Myvatn. Vatn, yeah. Or it's just a hair to the east, probably, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That is it. That is. And so it's the my Vuitton.
Which
Yeah.
low key, Mark buddy, thinking about our trip here, that day we can do the geothermal sea baths. We could do the geothermal sea baths before we go up to the campsite. From the campsite, we could work our way back down and do a uh do
It would
that.
be like a morning soak.
Yeah, we could do like a more, that could be where we shower. Like we're in a van.
Yeah, it's gonna be There's
So
gonna be some van funk.
that's what I mean. So that might not hurt. And then work our way over somewhere on this east side, and that's the Stugavalli Canyon somewhere over here. And just kind of work our way to stay down on that day
Yeah.
by that Vesterhorn area.
Yeah, we wanted to get down towards Vesterhorn by the end of that day.
I don't think we need to get quite all the way there because there looks like there's quite a few more towns out on that, like the far east side. So if there was somewhere over there, we stayed and then made sure we were down at Vesterhorn by the morning of the next day. But I think that's
Yeah.
a good goal to say we want to be down there.
I do too. And the one thing that I think will play into our favor, because I make such a point of this whenever I travel now, is finding where the hell I'm going to sleep. And so I was looking at campsites and like just general how campsites go. And everyone said that there's absolutely no reason to ever make a reservation at a campsite because you're almost always going to find one.
Okay.
So that was really reassuring because it's like, you know, you can have these goal spots, but if we get caught up, worst case scenario, we can be like, oh, let's just take this campsite and we'll just have to kind of crash, wake up early and head, you know, to this place a little bit earlier in the morning, or like have to speed through. You know, it will be easier to kind of audible our trip.
I like that. I think when it comes to maybe the first night with that thing of when it comes to the national parks, or
To be honest, I'm thinking more towards after day 3, waking up day 3, basically night of day 3, night of day 4, night of day 5, night of day 6, night of day 7. There's only goal spots to really get to. And if we can get to one, we can get to one type deal.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I like that. I think that's a good idea. Because like you said,
I agree with you too with the parks, you know, the 2 parks early on. I think we just kind of hit the parks.
Yeah, and it'd be really cool to we camped in that park. We booked it. It was easy. It was taken care of. No worries.
And you best believe there'll be a breakdown.
Exactly. And that's the east side. So we'll be out on the east side. The only real big thing I want to see out there, I thought, was Stogoli Canyon is kind of what I had written down of like
the
hit. There's the Viking Cafe we talked about. You want to see a Viking village, but
which
then
ironically is like the same. We have to do the Viking village. We got to do the Viking Cafe.
I'm about it.
They got waffles.
Exactly. But down in that southeast area, you also have the Jokul Salarn Glacier Lagoon, the Oricafudgical volcano in that area. So there's some stuff to do that evening. There's also the Skakfatachal Fall Nature Reserve, and they also have mink there.
They have mink, really?
I think that was also introduced, possibly.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think that Vesterhorn area is going to be actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that kind of area, we get down there, we spend some time there, depending on how that morning goes, get up out of there and coast along that south, because that south seems to have a lot of the glaciers, the Diamond Beach, which just seems like a pullout, has the plane crash, which seems like a pullout, has the main, I think some of the main waterfalls that you see people go to when they go to Reykjavik, like they go to these bigger waterfalls that are down here.
I think the waterfalls are on that Golden Circle Road more.
Which is this is the south side.
No, the Golden Circle, it involves the Thingvellir Park. It's up there. So for the people just watching, listening, we'll do our best to describe it here. But so the Golden Circle is like this area right here. So it's really close to Reykjavik.
Well,
Because I
see,
mean,
so-
there's a shit ton of stuff to do in this area.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's where a lot of my, I think a lot of my south stuff is. So we have that drive where you hit the ice caves. There, that Vic right there, I think that's where that plane crash is down there somewhere by a
Okay.
beach. Or Diamond Beach is by Vic, that town there, I think. But yeah, drive from that Viking village, drive all this on day 6 to Reykjavik, to that area, to that golden circle, do all that kind of stuff, which would be our last full day. Hopefully end up somewhere out by the Blue Lagoon if we can.
Mhm.
And do the Blue Lagoon the day we fly out, which is June 17th, day 7. And yeah, do the Blue Lagoon that morning and get into town, get to the airport.
Yeah, drop the van off, go to the airport, get through customs, and return back to the States from there.
Right. But exactly. I mean, that's like you look at those last 2 days, that'll be nice because they will be, I think that south side will be a lot of driving. The nice thing is it looks like it is kind of like an interstate or kind of just straight.
Yeah, I think that, and then I think also there's a lot over there.
A lot of
Because I
more
mean, all the research, everything seemed to be in that lower area. I swear,
right.
like everything I looked up was in that area.
And personally, that's why I'm not too worried on that north side because I feel like the north side is more primitive in the sense there's more of the nature stuff. There's more of those. You'll see that like those state parks or those kind of parks too that we don't even hear about and know about in those areas.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that north side is where we really get to know Iceland, like the country Iceland.
I think yeah,
Uh,
you'll have more people speaking that their native tongues and
mhm.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that I think that's where it's not as touristy. So I think that's that northern part's where we'll really discover what Iceland is while also still seeing some awesome stuff.
Well, and what I like too about it, like you look at our trip here, when you look at that north part, you're talking day 3, day 4, day 5, essentially, really in those areas of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. And I am also talking about lighthouses, man. I'm on here. I'm looking up other lighthouses too, because that's kind of why not? Churches and lighthouses, it's the steeple, I guess, that kind of that look, people like that. I don't know. You can check out my photography if you like. I take good photos.
There you go. But yeah, it's actually pretty good timing because we're starting to run out of time, and I got to be that guy. I got to be that guy, and we're getting to our final words. So, final words, my guy.
Well, end of the sode, end of a great sode. This is kind of a new one, really walking you through our details of a plan, our trip. Obviously, this isn't set in stone. If you've
I
listened to
was gonna
one,
say this is phase one.
if you listen to Wandering Ways, nothing goes according to plan. But it's good to talk these things through to get a kind of an idea of where you're going to be at, what the things are you're wanting to do. Because Mark, I found more pictures of this lighthouse, and I love it, and I'm excited. So I'm super stoked. I'm excited to go somewhere new. It's a cool country, a lot of things to do. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm excited. Go plan your trips, guys. All right,
There
that's
you
it.
go. Reverend's final words of wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. Can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for listening, sticking around, listening to us jibber jabber about our plans that will probably change quite a bit by the time we reach Iceland. But if you've ever planned a trip, you know that's kind of how it goes. But you got to start somewhere, and this is where we're starting. I mean, I can't tell you how excited. This is a bucket list place for me. So it's been somewhere I've talked about I've talked about since the drought back in 15, to go there. So it's like it's one of those things I'm super stoked to get to. That being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.